Come on in. Gather around. You know what time it is. You know you're ready for me to say it. You know what I say after every single game. You probably say it at home right now. You ready for it? Yeah, down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. The Seahawks go on the road. They're now 3-0 in 10-0 games. They beat those Jets. Beat their ass. I mean, they ain't beat it that bad, but they won the game on the road. That's right, the Seahawks are 7-5, still rocking in first place in the NFC West. Oh, my goodness. Look, I didn't have time to put Seahawks uniform on. Your boy fresh off a plane. You already know. I've been busy all week, as a matter of fact, but I am so glad to be back with you. You know me and Frank the Tank going to be rocking with you, and we're going to go through it all. But the Seahawks win on the road, and they get it done. Let's go to the 3 keys that made it work. Y'all, I'm going to say it. Let's say it. Leo Williams and what we are seeing out of him is probably the best display of an interior lineman right now. I heard it was once said, I was like, hold up for a minute. Yeah. Since Cortez Kennedy, Leo Williams is phenomenal. Today is his 153rd game as an NFL pro. As you all know, he was drafted in 2015, right? By the 6th pick by the Jets, right? I mean, yes, he was a first-round pick by the Jets. And I'm going home and winning that game. So shout out to Leo Williams. I'm talking about bunkers. By the way, big boy can move. Did y'all see him running? You see him when he got that pick 6? Woo-wee, my boy was moving. My goodness. So Leo Williams definitely was a key to the game. Number 2, look, and I think that a lot of times when we talk about football, we always usually talking about, because usually the MVP conversation is usually a quarterback, or usually everybody's talking about the JSN, which, by the way, is the best wide receiver in the world. Anyway, talk about the JSN, the wide receivers. But one thing that does not get talked about enough, why don't kickers get talked about a lot? Why doesn't special teams get talked about a lot? Can we all agree that special teams is important? Did we not see today how special teams, when it goes bad, is bad? I mean, it's bad. I'm talking about bad when you got to give up alimony, when you got about 3-4 kids, child support. That kind of bad. When you leave that damn courthouse, you sick. That was what was happening in the beginning of the game. We saw special teams went bad. So I'm giving my special key to Jason Myers, because no matter what this season, my man has been coming through. Give Jason Myers his flowers. And the key number 3, y'all, me, everybody else been giving this one person a hard time. We have. Because we had a little bit higher expectations for this guy. But today, you got to give him his flower. So go ahead and put a little Chardonnay in your glass and sip it with your pinky finger out. Charbonnet getting into the end zone, baby. Charbonnet had a great game. It was great to see it. Oh, yeah. 75, Seahawks, 3-game winning streak. And by the way, I don't care if the Jets coming into this game were 3-8. Yeah, they're 3-8 coming into this game. It don't matter. They are an NFL team, and as you can see early on, hey, all NFL teams can be tough to beat. That's why it is so hard to get a win in the National Football League. But either way, I'm telling you, 3-0 in a row. Frank the Tank, what was the stats on 10 a.m. games for Pete Carroll when he was coaching on 10 a.m. games? By the way, this 10 a.m. game stuff been good. What's up, Frank?
Yeah, so Pete Carroll won 20 of his last 29 10 a.m. games at the East Coast. And then Mike McDonald so far started his season 3-0. We were looking at this game the first quarter, down 2 touchdowns, 3 fumbles on kickoffs. And I'm sure you and myself thought, hey, this was just one of those sloppy, sleepy games they didn't wake up for, and we can't make up for it. I was not sure this team could come back from a 2-touchdown deficit, but they did. But they did. And we actually do really well at 10 a.m. on the East Coast. It reminds me of a baby version of that incredible Lamar stat, which we'll see later today, when Lamar's like 23 or 24-1 against the NFC. When we're playing AFC teams in the East Coast and they're hosting us, man, they're not ready for us most of the time. Pete Carroll started it. Mike McDonald's continuing that tradition.
Man. So let's talk about it. Aaron Rodgers today. Did y'all see Aaron Rodgers? You know, when I was looking at this Jets team, now I want to see if we're on the same page. Let's talk about this. When I see this Jets team, the first thing we see, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, you see those people. But how many times during the game did you be like, I ain't never heard of him. I ain't never heard of him. You want to know why? Because they are having to pay that high-ass salary of Aaron Rodgers and everything that he's wanted to do since he's gotten there. And they are having to fill the void. And this is why look, I've watched the Jets. I'm just saying that today, I just found myself saying that a lot. Did you go through that today? You know what Aaron Rodgers with the Jets reminds me of? Aaron Rodgers with the Jets reminds me of that one parent that dresses real well, but they kids as sloppy as hell. You know what I mean? Like, man, are you going to buy the kids something? How you wearing all that stuff right there and your kids is wearing pajama bottoms and rubber boots, right? You can't have that. No doubt about it. But with Aaron Rodgers and this team, I would think that this would be it for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. But then again, the Jets are the Jets, baby. This is what they do. They are the equivalent of the Chicago Bears, or they are the equivalent of the Cleveland Browns when they gave Deshaun Watson all that damn money. Some of these organizations can't get out of their damn way. And Aaron Rodgers has been nothing but abysmal for that organization. They've absolutely done nothing with that dude in there. It's crazy. So I'm glad the Seahawks got to go against that Jets team. And by the way, that Jets in the fourth quarter, those penalties on fourth down, oh my goodness. If I'm the Jets, I'm awful. Now can I ask y'all something? Was that a fumble? Did Geno Smith fumble that ball? Put it in the chat. Did Geno Smith fumble that ball? Did the Seahawks get away with one? If you were a Jets fan, would you be mad? Frank, now, I'm going to ask you, was that a fumble by Geno Smith? Was that a fumble?
I mean, it looked like one to us when we were watching it.
Man, hey, what a game. Coming back after trailing by 2 scores. Did you have faith in the team? Put in the chat. Did you have faith? Do I need to get up there and look at some of your tweets out there? Did you say some things on social media that you wish you would have took back? Now, I wasn't excited, but I put a tweet out there and I let it be known, well, all you can do is just battle back. Get it done. That's all you can do. And the Seahawks did that on the road. Look, special teams is awful, especially with the return game. Well, I don't know what's going on with that whole thing. I'm tired of seeing fumbles. And as you all know and can see, special teams, seriously, there's 3 phases to the game: offense, defense, special teams. And we saw today how special teams could have brought the boys the L. Could have brought them a loss for sure. You know what else I want to talk about too? What y'all think about Mike McDonald on the sideline? I was watching it today. What y'all think about it? Mike McDonald on the sideline he's actually good for my blood pressure. And what I mean by that is when they pan over to Mike McDonald, you can't tell if the Seahawks are winning or losing. You can't tell if the Seahawks are doing well or not. He is calm, cool, collected, always has the same look. Is that a good thing? Anybody want to complain about that? Here's my thoughts on it. And like we always talk about, it's a good thing when you're winning. Winning cures all. And if they weren't winning, people like me and you would be complaining about that. Oh, my goodness. JSN conversation. Is JSN the best in the world? Do y'all still think I'm crazy? Okay, maybe you do. That's fine. But did he come through when it was 4th and 5? Did he come through in the fourth quarter? Have you noticed that he always comes through? Right? For all you parents out there, right? Today is December 1st. It's in the month of December. You know the bills, rent is getting ready to be due, right? Some of y'all wait till the 5th like I used to do. I used to wait till the 5th, you know what I'm saying, get that landlord the rent money. But you know in this month what time it is. We just got over Thanksgiving, and so it's now the time to get them kids some gifts. And you know, boy, you might be short, right? You know, your money be funny in December, so you got to make it work. That's JSN. JSN is the parent on the field that comes through when you need it. That's what he does all the time. Frank, you think I'm crazy, don't you? Y'all just don't see it. JSN is the best in the world.
He's been playing like one of the best. That's what I could say.
Ain't no one of the best. He is the best, and he's on this team. I'm telling y'all right now, because I don't want to happen. Later on, okay, now, G, we see it now. No, he's the best right now in the world. Huh. All right, I'm done with my JSN conversation. Frank, let's talk about the playoff chances. Playoff chances for 5 NFC playoff bubble teams with a win-loss this week.
So check this out. So Seattle, this was according to PFF, Seattle had a 54% chance of making the playoffs with this win. It was going to drop all the way to 27 if they lost this game. A couple of the NFC teams that were in the mix with, so Tampa Bay and Atlanta, they're in a similar spot that the NFC West is, because there's not going to be a lot of wild cards out of that division. Tampa, if they win, they're 57% chance to make the playoffs, 21 without. Atlanta, 83 with the win, but they lost, I believe, 57 with the loss. Arizona, 65% chance to make the playoffs if they won today, 37 without. And guess what? They lost in the final minute to Sam Darnold.
Oh, okay. All right. I like to hear it. By the way, if you're listening right now on the stream, do me a favor. Do me a favor and can you share it? Can you share this so we can get more people to the party, more people hanging out? I know it's an early game. I know some of y'all might be out Christmas shopping, but it's the more the merrier. We have a lot more fun in that way. Give me some updates. I have not seen it. Maybe put in the chat. I don't know. Frank, do you know? Can we get some updates on how the playoff picture, as far as the division, how did the Arizona Cardinals do? I know they were winning. Did the Arizona Cardinals go ahead and get the win?
No, they lost. They lost in the final minute to Minnesota. They're 6-6.
Arizona Cardinals! Yes! Yes!
And just speaking on, because you've been giving JSN his flowers, a lot of Ohio State love. We saw Garrett Wilson in this game. And then, of course, we've been eyeing Marvin Harrison, who's been advertised as this wide receiver prodigy. Yeah, I kind of like the guy we got out of Ohio State.
Oh, I mean, no doubt. I mean, JSN is I don't want to pick between the Zone 6 era of the Ohio State Buckeyes wide receivers. I don't want to get into which one is the best because, I love all of the Buckeye wide receivers all the same. Nobody should be talking about having a favorite son or a favorite daughter. However, because JSN plays for the Seahawks, yes, I think he is the best wide receiver, Ohio State wide receiver that is out there. So now, with this playoff picture and how things are shaping up, Arizona Cardinals getting that loss, that's really going to help, right? It's going to help from the standpoint, as you guys know, the Seahawks right now on that tiebreaker, right? Also, the Seahawks have an opportunity to go down to Arizona. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, they go down this week, don't they?
It's next week.
They go down to Arizona. So you want to talk about putting another nail in the coffin? That would be just that, for them to go down there, take care of business down there. Then, after that, we know that there is another big game, and that is going to be home against a very, very underrated Green Bay Packers team. Nobody gives Matt LaFleur, that head coach, the credit that he deserves for what they are doing with Green Bay. Green Bay is a damn good team. I'm glad that game is at home. But this goes to show you the NFC is a very tough conference this season. And that's why in order to make the playoffs in the NFC West division, you're going to have to win that thing.
And right now, as the playoffs stand, we're the 3rd seed. Packers are the 6th seed. That would be the first round matchup.
You say who would be?
Right now, as the playoffs stand, including the 10 a.m. games, the Seahawks are the 3rd seed, and the Packers would be the 6th seed, and that would be the first round matchup.
Okay.
Is Seahawks hosting Green Bay? Guess what? In that game, Sunday night primetime.
Oh, they're talking about the Seahawks?
When the Seahawks play the Packers in 2 weeks, that's Sunday night.
Ooh. Frank, they say you turn your mic up a little bit.
Oh, will do.
He's going to turn it up. Ooh, I didn't know that. Sunday night, prime time. Ooh, But I don't even want to talk about 2 weeks from now. I don't want to talk about next week. I want to talk about right now and what we are seeing. So, you put in the chat, here's a question, let's talk about it. The Seahawks after the bye week are 3-0. The Seahawks have won their last 3 games out of the bye week. Who or what is the biggest reason for the change in trajectory of this season? Put in the chat, what is the best? Who is the reason why this Seahawks team has really turned it around? I'll go first, Frank, before you, and then we'll take some of your answers in the chat. It's the defense. It is by far, in a way, the defense. And I can break it down into different position groups. I'd argue that right now, the Seahawks D-line is one of the best right now in the league. I mean, Leo Williams alone is playing the absolute best in the league. But I don't want to just go in on Leo Williams, because we also have to talk about, like Me-Bane talks about on this show, it is a team thing. So we need to give credit to Jay Reed, Jaron Reed and his unselfishness, Jaron Reed and his motor, being the veteran that he is. He has been phenomenal. Byron Murphy II, that rookie, has been incredible. Draymond Jones, this D-line has been spectacular. Let's go behind them. I was wrong. Listen, y'all, when I tell you I was wrong, I was wrong. I was upset. I didn't understand the direction that they were going with the linebackers. I had no idea. Like, it's just like Tyrell Dotson. By the way, did y'all see Tyrell Dotson get shook real bad by Saquon Barkley? Anyway, that's another story. Oh, my God. Anyways, I didn't know that. I mean, have you all watched the linebacker play? I mean, here's the thing. You don't have to be an expert. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, you need to have played. No. Your eyes don't deceive you. You know when you know, right? You know when that play pops off on the field. And what we have been seeing out of Ernest Jones, the fourth, and Tyrese Knight, man, them boys is solid. And then let's go behind him. Let's go back in the secondary. Now, hey, man, why Aaron Rodgers and them was picking on my man Joe today? Why they was picking on 29 today? But hey, I like Joe. I like him. But the safety position, did you see the prosecutor, Julian Love, today come through and cause a huge fumble after we did not get it on 4th down? Huge. Safety play has been phenomenal. Kobe Bryant has been phenomenal. By the way, I want to talk about Kobe for a second. Now, y'all know they gave Kobe a $6,000 fine for his Marshawn crotch grab, right? They gave him a $6,000 fine. You know what else they should fine Kobe Bryant for? When y'all get a chance, after Leo Williams scores on the pick 6 and he was getting ready to celebrate, Kobe Bryant comes in and tackles him. Now, Kobe Bryant, How you gonna mess up the big fella stuff? How you gonna jump on his back and tackle him? They didn't find your ass for that. But Kobe Bryant, you've been playing some good football. And can we give some love to Spoon? Spoon is for that defense is the homie in the neighborhood that's just like that. Spoon on this defense is O-Dog from Menace to Society. Now, I apologize if some of y'all don't get that reference, but that's who Spoon is. Spoon is O-Dog from Menace to Society. He gonna have that thing on him, and he gonna get busy. Spoon has been spectacular. And Rick, Rick Woolen, man, I be loving him sometimes, and then he'll do something like on that, did y'all see that 3rd and 26 that Aaron Rodgers and those guys had? And Spoon was just kind of like, if you want to get the first down, it's cool. That's kind of how it was. Reek! Man, would you go make a play? Quit making business decisions. But don't get me wrong, I don't want to get too hard on you, Reek. I don't want to do that. But sometimes, Reek, you be, and then you get back on top of things and all that. So, all in all, the biggest reason is the defense, Frank.
Yeah, and Reek, there was a couple bad moments, but he was bothering Garrett Wilson for a lot of that game. Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers did not have an amazing connection, and that was in large part due to Reek just being in their face and bothering them.
Yeah, I agree with that. No question.
I want you to ask, because I think the chat wants to hear about this, because this was big. Sauce v. Spoon, these two high drafted young corners, both don't like each other. How did they come down? And I know obviously Sauce got hurt a little bit. He got banged up.
Yeah, look, I think Sauce is a great player. No doubt about it. I'm not going to take anything away from Sauce. And I think that one thing that I think we all have learned and understand, nobody cares what kind of player you are if your team ain't winning. Right? Because truth be told, all these players out here, they good. I've been telling y'all, the difference between good and great, like that. Here's what happened. And I would say there's three, it's been said, I hope I get this right. There's three type of players in the NFL, okay? There is the very talented player, but doesn't have all of the other things, the intangibles, the work ethic, and all of those things, the ready to grit, ready to go through adversity, right? Doing things right off the field. That's one player. Then you have the second player. The second player is, he doesn't have the talent that others have, but he's got the grit, he's got the determination, he's got the off the field stuff taken care of. He crosses T's, he dots I's. That's the second player. Who's the third player? Oh, that's the Hall of Famer. The Hall of Famer does both of those things. Does that make sense? That is the Hall of Famer, the one that has the talent and handles the business. So when it comes to Sauce Gardner and compare him to Spoon, I don't want to compare them. I think that Sauce Gardner is a very good player. I think that Spoon is a player that we are just now, because for a little bit, we're kind of judging by the stats, and I don't know how many interceptions he has, but we now have been watching Spoon and the energy that he injects into this defense and what he does for this defense is beautiful. And I'll give Frank the Tank credit for this. Frank said early on, the reason why the Seahawks hired Mike McDonald, because the Seahawks are in the division with arguably the two best offensive play callers in the National Football League, in Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. And so you need someone to be able to stop that. I can comfortably say, and you probably can too, that this Seahawks defense can stop those offenses. I don't think that when we go into a game, us as fans going into this game, we don't sit back and think, hope the defense can hold up, because what we now are seeing, especially after the bye week, man, this defense is playing some of the best in the game. I don't have an update on Michael Dixon, but that was sure a little bit on the scary side, considering his back and everything like that.
Just considering how the special teams were going, like we needed everyone just to, I didn't want any change-ups there.
Yeah. So we'll kind of monitor that situation, find out what's going on with Dixon, the back, because I was wondering what that whole so is that the fourth down thing was? The reason why they went for it on fourth down?
There was a lot of fourth down attempts. It was very interesting coaching decisions. Ultimately, it paid off, but a couple of them, I think, left a lot to be desired.
Yeah. So did anybody put anything different? Offense, hey, how's the offensive line doing? You guys good? Because I think the offensive line has been doing a fantastic job. I was talking to a former player the other day. I won't tell you who it is. He's a former offensive lineman. And you want to know what he said to me? He said, hey, G, in the last 15 years, what year has everybody been happy with the Seahawks offensive line? And ain't never been happy with the offensive line. People used to get mad about Breno Giacomini. You guys remember him, right? Because all the flags that he would get all the time. They would get mad at James Carpenter, who was a first-round guard. They would get mad at Russell Okung. Look, the offensive line right now, I think they're playing great football right now. They're doing the job. They're getting it done. I think that they were protecting Geno. By the way, is it me? Was Geno holding that ball a little bit too much, Pauls? Was he holding the football up a little bit more than usual? I thought he's been getting great protection. No doubt. Let's see, somebody says run blocking. Run blocking still stinks. Yeah, but sometimes the run game is not always just the running backs need to block. Sometimes running backs need to hit those holes too. Sometimes running backs can't always try to bounce out and make something happen. So I think it's a combination of both.
And then lastly, too, in terms of run blocking, it doesn't help if our run offense is as predictable as it's been. Every first down in the first half seems like it's a run play, usually up the middle with Ken Walker. Defenses have adjusted to that. Defenses know when to guard that. That doesn't set them up for great success.
No doubt.
We might need to talk about that goal line 8-play disaster.
Yeah, and we can just talk about the red zone in general. Like, Frank gave us stats early on in this season talking about Geno Smith in the red zone. This season, I know most of us have not been happy about what we have seen with the red zone offense. It has not been good. And I feel like it should be better than this. Way better than this. And it's going to have to be something that's taken care of, because if you're going to go deep into the playoffs, red zone offense is going to have to be addressed. That goal line stance that the Jets got on the Seahawks earlier, I didn't like that. I was a little upset with that. So what was those stats that you had on there? By the way, and I thought Geno Smith still played a good game. Geno Smith wasn't somebody like that. I like the fact that even when Geno doesn't play like lights out of this world, he's not out there turning the ball over. And that's what you're seeing across the league. Some of these quarterbacks are pressing, they get anxious, and they turn over and throw 2-3 interceptions. Matter of fact, I think Geno Smith, he didn't have an interception today, huh? And previous
almost a fumble,
did.
But no fumble.
You say what?
Almost a fumble, but no fumble.
Ore says, don't like the fade ball to DK on 1st and goal. Run the ball. I don't know about that, Ore. I like a fade to DK in that situation. he's either going to get it 50-50 or it's going to be a flag, right? There's going to be a pass interference. I personally like that, but that's just me. You don't like that, Frank?
No, I'm okay with it, particularly if it's a first and goal attempt. It's not my third and goal try because fades have a low success rate, but DK hits the frame of a receiver I'd want to try a short goal line fade with. Mm-hmm. He's huge.
Ryan Grubb. I just want to say to Ryan Grubb, I think the offense has been better the last few games. I thought that this game right here, it was ugly, but when the offense was needed and needed to get things done, I thought the aggressiveness on some of those fourth downs, right? When it was fourth down, and I was like, ooh, y'all going for it right there? And, of course, the Jets get a penalty. The Jets are the third most penalized team in the NFL. So the Jets coming through, being undisciplined, giving the Seahawks and its fans some love, giving those penalties. So, yeah, I'll take that.
You mentioned something interesting during the game because you thought Aaron Rodgers had a little more pep in his step in the first half versus the second half. It was almost like the Jets are a team that can't play 60 full minutes because in the first half with the bye week, and I mention this all the time, fifth game where we've had a rest disadvantage already in the season. That pisses me off so much. But the Jets didn't have a lot of penalties. It was like 14, 20 yards. And then the second half, they just couldn't get out of their own way. There were those 2 penalties on fourth down that gave us first downs. And they, like you said, third most penalties in the league.
Yep.
They averaged 62 penalty yards. This game, 63.
Wow. Hey, there it is. So they're going to have to fix some of these issues. I mean, no doubt about it. Before we go any more Seahawks stuff, we need to update some things. First, happy Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving? Was it good? Was it bad? Can you tell me about a food that you ate that wasn't that great? I will share with you that I was out in Ohio for Thanksgiving, and my macaroni and cheese, the one that I talk about all the time, on a scale of 1 to 10, about a 7.
That's passing. C's get degrees.
Yeah, but you know how sometimes you in other people's kitchen, right? Like, I don't know if y'all, you just ain't got what you got. I took some shortcuts on some few things. There was one part where, by the way, you're supposed to grate all your cheese, but I didn't feel like grating all the cheese because they only had a little grater in there.
It's the worst.
The worst. And I'm like, I cut my fingers up and a little bit like that. So I cheated with a package of some shredded cheese. And so my macaroni was okay. I will say they did have, at the event that I went to, they had a turkey. Now, y'all know I talk crap on turkey. Yo, probably the best turkey I've ever had. It was juicy. Ooh-wee. It was juicy.
Was it just normal? Or was it smoked?
Oh, no,
fried?
Normal turkey. Normal turkey, and that was great. Chris says all my kids got sick, but all the food was amazing. Oh, that's a rough Thanksgiving right there, man, when that happens. Now, the last time we talked, we were talking about Frank. And if you guys remember, Frank went out to dinner with his girlfriend and her parents, right? And they went to dinner, and I said, Frank, I know you paid for it. Nah, he let the daddy pay for the meal. Gave him a hard time about that. So then they're going to be spending Thanksgiving with each other.
Had a great Thanksgiving with them.
So
shout out to the in-laws.
I asked Frank, who is going to carve the turkey? I said, Frank, you got to carve the turkey. Frank, give us an update. How did Thanksgiving go with the future in-laws?
I had a great time with them. They're lovely people. They're not the biggest football fans, but the dad really wanted to watch football with me. Unfortunately, Usually I eat earlier, but that goes back to my retail days when I'm so mad because I see Target, they're in their 5th year of not being open on Thanksgiving. Not when I was working there. We were there at 6 p.m. Anyway, I digress. That's a whole nother thing. So we were watching the lame Dallas Giants game. They were great company. I was able to carve the turkey. I was able to chip in the kitchen. We had a great time. The food was amazing. I'm not the biggest stuffing fan. Whatever they did with the stuffing was incredible. We had some cornbread. I got my cranberries. The turkey was great. We had plenty of pie. A wonderful time. Shout out to them. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You know what? I this year, and I want to know if some of you guys have gone through this. This year, for me, was the worst for food with Thanksgiving. And what I mean by that is a couple things. Number one, I had a plate, right? I had a nice little sized plate. I go to eat all of the meal, and I was full. I was done. Now, the Thanksgivings that I'm accustomed to, I have about 3-4 plates. I only had one plate. And then after a while, like even hearing you talk about all the different foods, I'm just thinking like, the stuff that we eat on Thanksgiving, I'm just like, it's usually, most of the stuff we eat is once a year. Usually have stuffing once a year, turkey once a year. Maybe y'all have green bean casserole a little often, but other than that, man, I think I'm out. I'm glad tomorrow, Monday, I'll be fasting, so I gotta really get back into the swing of things, because what we don't want to do is, this is December 1st today. We don't want to have a bad December, do we, y'all? Then we go into the new year with all of these different plans, and I'm gonna get in shape and all that stuff. So let's go back to.
You know what I did see? I thought was really funny online. There was a joke going around. I don't know who was cooking most of the Thanksgiving meal for you,
okay,
but someone was saying that they're at their grandmother's, and Granny's in her Celtic shack era of Thanksgiving cooking.
Somebody asked, how did I eat? Because I only eat steak. So some of you guys know I am on a carnivore diet, and I do eat a lot of meat, protein, and everything. But for the Thanksgiving holidays, all bets are off. And I'm going to tell you right now, I feel awful. Awful. I mean, I just had, just now, before I came on the show, I just got off the plane and everything, had a Subway sandwich. I mean, I'm just telling you, I feel absolutely awful. So
your luggage is in the building.
I have luggage.
You are dedicated to the Seahawks and doing this.
Yeah. So, yeah, this whole, I got to get back to it. I think all of the carbs and and sweets and all that, it's got me. As a matter of fact, my mind is not as clear when I'm on those things. So, all right, back to it.
Michael Bumpus brought up something.
Oh, you talking about
we were talking about the red zone a little bit.
I mean, he brought up what Mebane talks about all the time.
I just want to give Mebane his credit.
He talks what Mebane talks about all the time. Mebane wants to have the fullback. That's right. Mebane, look, I'm looking forward to the fullback will be coming back. You see it. You even see it in sometimes the 2 running back sets they did today.
How many teams have a fullback?
4?
7.
7?
That they use all the time.
Well, I mean, on 4th and 1, do you need a fullback? You know what I mean? On the goal line, you need a fullback in the red zone. So these are all opportunities to get it done with the fullback. So I'm looking forward to the fullback coming back. I just want to say this. Coming out of the bye week, going back to that, to come out of the bye week, head on the road to the Niners, come back home against the Arizona Cardinals team with Kyler Murray, their quarterback, playing his best football, getting that win. Then going on the road for a 10 a.m. game, getting that win out there with the Jets and coming back home. I think the resilience of this team has been spectacular. I got to give all the credit in the world to Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald, man, what you have done for this franchise, what you have done coming out of this bye week, you really, really put life back into us Seahawks fans. Because I'm going to tell you right now, man, we was struggling, y'all. Am I lying? We was hurting. We was struggling. Didn't even look forward to coming out of that bye week going down to San Fran. Because we knew we just felt it. San Fran with a winning streak since 2021. Who knows what would have been different? But you got it done. And that, man, Mike McDonald, we got to give you your credit, give you your flowers, and that's one of the things that we try to do on this show. Hey, we give you a little tough love when things aren't going right, but when things are going right, but when things aren't going wrong, that's when we definitely have to give you your love. Frank, did you want to do a little dress to fit?
Sure, let's do it. Let's fire it up.
By the way, 7-5 is better, a lot better than 6-6. Ooh-wee.
I mean, did you think Seattle could be a team that could score 19 straight points? I don't know if I thought they could do that, which we did. We ended the game 19-0 run.
Who did Niners play today?
They play Buffalo tonight.
Oh, four geezer, you ain't lying. If we can get them to lose, by the way, the Niners are really I think the Niners are for real done. Like, they have really imploded within. So definitely on that.
Do you mean done this season or?
Oh no, done.
No, see, I can't.
No, done. This was their season to get it done. They don't get it done this season. They got a decision to make with Brock Purdy. They got a bunch of guys on these big ass contracts. Oh, they're done.
I still think they have a great head coach. I think they have a great GM, and I think Purdy's fine. They still have those three things in place. There might be a couple years where they're not as competitive as we've seen. They'll rebuild. They'll figure it out. They're good. They always find talent. I'm still think they're a threat.
Okay, all right. You think they're a threat in the NFC West division? Rank them in order. Which teams worry you the most in order?
This year or like
this year, right now?
This year, only Arizona.
Oh no! I'll tell you what. Mine goes.
I would say Arizona, San Francisco, Rams.
Mine goes Rams, Arizona, San Fran. I mean, I think obviously the Seahawks don't play San Fran again. I really think San Fran is really done. I think the Super Bowl hangover is real. But when it comes to teams in this division between the Arizona Cardinals and the Rams, I don't know what it is, but man, Sean McVay brings fear to me. Because Sean McVay last season, there was no way in the world they were supposed to make the playoffs. They did. The Rams are the team that no matter what you think about them, they can beat you. They can beat you.
It's very true. Very true.
So that team right there is just resilient. They scare me. And, the Arizona Cardinals, they aren't bad at all. They've been playing some pretty decent football. I'm glad they got the loss today. That sure does help. But now, can you imagine? And I see it. Can you see the Seahawks go ahead and win the division in Mike McDonald's first year as head coach of the Seahawks? Now, I ain't want to gossip. You ain't heard it from me, Miss Benita. But the Seahawks, the way things are going, for them to make the playoffs this season is bonus. Because we got a lot of a young nucleus, got a decision to make here pretty soon on Geno Smith, by the way. You should go ahead and pay Geno Smith. Give him that $100 million for 3 years.
For the audience, I would love to know the number that you would say you'd be comfortable with for re-signing him.
Okay, let's talk about that. Put in the chat the number on Geno Smith. Here's your this is how you're gonna answer it. Either put no, you don't want to do anything with Geno Smith, you want to just let him go. Or the next one would be yes, And how much would you give him for another 3 years? Yes, I would give Geno 3 years, $100 million tomorrow. Frank, what do you do?
That was the Baker Mayfield contract after his breakout last year. I would say there's going to be a little bit of an inflation tax. I wouldn't like to go over 120, but 3 for 120. I could see that.
Okay,
anything other than that, I'd be happy with. And I have some of the quarterback salaries if we want to.
Okay, but I will get to the salaries. I got a I got a $30 million a year. I got a 35 3 years. I got a free KJ. I got a $30 million a year. I got a up to 40 per year with incentives. $40 million. 3 years, no. Yes, 3 years, 110. So I think we're all on the same page to go ahead and get that done. Because look, and another reason, if the Seahawks weren't going to keep Geno, there's other teams that would take Geno. No question about it.
100%.
I mean,
I keep thinking the whole time, I'm like, what team is desperate enough to take Rodgers? But if Geno Smith hit the open market, think about like the Pittsburgh Steelers with Geno Smith.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, shout out to the Steelers. Did they beat up on the Bengals? You know, I got to did the Jags lose to the Houston Texans?
Yeah, last time I checked it was like 16-6 or some small score like that.
Can I ask y'all something? When is the last time that you looked on ESPN or any other Bleacher Report, all that, any other big sports news and saw any conversation centered around Trevor Lawrence? Mm-hmm. How come the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence can be cheeks so much, but nobody ever talks about the fact that he was the number 1 pick? But then Lamar Jackson, anything he does, if it's not at the top, people are on his head. Help me. Why does Trevor Lawrence get a pass?
We must never forget the summer where Lamar wasn't getting paid. That was one of the most, considering the Deshaun Watson contract. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was one of the most egregious things that was happening where like there's like a coup going on and no owner was willing to send out an offer. Like you look at the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about the Trevor Lawrence thing. He's got similar stats to like Gardner Minshew as a starter. Like win-loss, touchdown percentage,
he was
yards per attempt.
He was the number 1 pick.
Oh, beyond that, in my opinion, they were talking about him like Andrew Luck, like Peyton Manning, like one of these prodigal number 1s. He wasn't even like a Joe Burrow number 1 where there was some questions about him.
I know one thing. If Trevor's name was Trayvon, might be a different story. Wow. If Trevor's name was Trayvon, he'd be all over Sports Center about him playing like cheeks and them Jacksonville Jaguars continuing to lose. But Trevor.
You want to know my Jacksonville hot take?
Okay.
It's where Bill Belichick is going. Ooh. He's going to be the coach of the Jags. Hang out with Trevor Lawrence. Get a nice draft pick.
Ooh.
Build that defense out. Stay in Florida. Brady did Florida. He's got to do another team. I think that owner will give Belichick the space he needs.
Yeah. I think so too. I don't think he definitely doesn't go to Dallas.
No.
Nobody wants that Dallas job.
No, I don't even think Dion's going to do that. That seems more like Vegas at this point.
No, not at all. Did you guys see the Bears fiasco? Did you see the Bears? That fiasco was so bad. The Bears, who never fire their coach in season, even the Bears was like, oh, hell no. This is embarrassing. Coming on the heels of losing 6 straight, and then you do that? Do you think Bill Belichick, somebody just texts in, and just already says Bill Belichick in Chicago?
That'd be interesting. I don't know if he'd want to be with that management, though.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
I mean, just think about it, like not to like nerd out on specifics, but they traded. So Darnell Mooney leaves Chicago this offseason. he's leading the Atlanta Falcons in receiving yards, even over Drake London. He's having a breakout year. And then they traded a 4th rounder to bring in a 4 or 5 year older receiver in Keenan Allen, who can barely stay on the field.
Right.
Like their talent evaluation across that roster is I don't know what they're seeing. Like, how could you make that move when you had a guy that easily could give you 1,000-yard season as a number 2 receiver?
Yeah. I don't really understand. I don't understand a lot of moves being made. Now, I know I'm not a football expert. I don't make my living making football decisions, both operations, personnel, and all those things. But a couple questions. What's the Vikings doing? You have Sam Darnold. You draft J.J. McCarthy. You bring in Daniel Jones. What are you doing? And what's their record? 10-2? The Vikings?
Because they just beat Arizona.
So are you basically saying, like, Sam Darnold, thanks, but no thanks? You're out of here?
I think.
He's 10-2.
Well,
you think?
I'm wondering what they're seeing out of JJ.
Okay. All right. True. Good. Okay. Here's another question. What is the Atlanta Falcons doing?
Oh, God.
What are they doing?
That's going to be Aaron Rodgers' team next year.
You bring in my man, Kirk Cousins. Then you draft Michael Penix in the first round. You got Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix. Right now, Kirk Cousins, did he throw 4 interceptions today? He's playing like cheeks right now with no development to Michael Penix. I just don't understand. What are you doing? And, oh, by the way, the Lions, remember I said this. The Lions won the game against the Bears, but the Lions got hurt with their season.
Yeah, didn't they pick someone up?
I mean, they were losing people left and right in that game. The Bears might have beat them up really bad. We're going to see. The Lions are a great team, but we're going to see if they're going to be able to continue.
Who joined their team?
Somebody joined the Lions?
Yeah.
Who?
Jamal Adams.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
The Lions brought in Jamal Adams?
They brought in Jamal Adams.
Why? For what? Am I missing something? For what? He's going to be on the active roster?
They were saying he's right now in the practice squad, and they're going to move him to the active roster fast.
Sorry, y'all. I'm just hearing that news in real time. I mean, like, I guess I'm shocked because this is what I'm saying. Like, these organizations, they make these moves. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. I would be mad as hell. By the way, I told y'all when I was wrong, I was kind of mad at the Seahawks for about a week when they made the linebacker situation. You know what I mean? Like, look, before the season, you brought 2 linebackers in here to basically start while a Hall of Famer walked out of here and went to the Commanders. So I was was in my feelings when both of those linebackers are gone by week 10. However, I was wrong. Seahawks made that was a right decision. I'm okay being wrong. So, but anytime I see bad situations, I just wonder what these organizations are thinking about. So,
got even wilder. I mean, that's not a rumor. That actually happened. But the chat was talking about it a little bit before. Did you hear the Pete Carroll rumor?
Gary Moore, good to see you, man. I was wondering where you were, Gary. Pete Carroll? What you say about Pete Carroll? What happened?
There was a rumor that he will be amongst the coaching candidate considerations for the Jets.
I don't want Pete Carroll to coach. I don't want Pete Carroll to coach no more. You ever had that one ex that you didn't want them to go out and go date nobody else? You was cool. I mean, y'all split up. You're cool still. Y'all not in a relationship no more. But Frank, you ever been in a situation where you didn't want to see your ex with nobody else? You just wanted them to stay single? I want Pete Carroll to stay single. I don't want Pete Carroll to go date nobody else. I don't want to look on the other sidelines and see Pete Carroll. I don't want to see Pete Carroll go and win, and I definitely don't want to go see Pete Carroll lose. So it's a lose-lose situation for me.
It's a great point.
Pete, you know what I'm saying? Pete, no.
I don't want to see him lose in New York. That's a team. Oh, man.
No.
I don't want to see him go down with that ship. Avoid that ship.
Just stay and just be great. Right off into the sunset. He's a Hall of Famer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he gets into the Hall of Fame.
We didn't really do this conversation on air. I'll like to throw it out real quick. I texted you one night. There's two 21st century head coaches. There's two that pop out. Bill Belichick and Andy Reid. Undisputable. Who's the third? In the 21st century NFL.
First of all, it's Pete. It's definitely Pete.
There's a couple of names. I would say John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, Sean Payton, Pete Carroll.
Okay, Sean Payton, get him out. I don't think he's in that discussion with them. I'm going to make it more of an esteemed situation. I'm going to go Andy Reid. Definitely go Bill Belichick.
Undisputable. Those are the top two for the 21st century.
No. Incredible. Definitely Pete Carroll. Definitely Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin for sure. That dude's a boy. Yeah. Is John Harbaugh in there?
I would. He be somewhere there. Maybe he's the last on the list, but he's on the list.
Yeah, Harbaugh kind of that dude right now.
But it is one thing to think about when we're replacing Pete Carroll. This is our first year without him. If you have him as the third most impactful head coach in the NFL in the 21st century, it's a tall task.
Yeah.
Just puts things in perspective.
Yeah. All right, it's about to be it for us. Everybody's Thanksgiving was good. Anybody have any drama? No drama? Well, none of you. Nobody came over, made the conversation a little weird. Did politics come up during Thanksgiving? Did you stay away from that? Did you stay away from religion? Did anybody get too drunk? Did anybody pop the question on Thanksgiving? By the way, it's as selfish as hell if you popping the question on Thanksgiving. Anybody do that? Anybody not talking to nobody no more after Thanksgiving? Come on now, you guys know I like the gossip. Josiah said he had drama. Oh, man, he had some drama.
Tap in.
He had some drama on Thanksgiving. Look, drama-free. And you know what? I'm starting to think that sometimes we force ourselves to go over to be at houses just because we want to try to make everything peaceful and everything. Hey, if you think about it, we only have so many Thanksgivings left. And you know what I mean? And don't you want great memories? Putting yourself in a situation where you don't have any of that drama, oh my gosh, it's the best. All right.
You want to do a little respect the fit as we play the people out?
Okay. Let's do that.
We'll just do it for a little bit as we wrap up here. We don't see him a lot on respect the fit.
Oh, well, y'all know Tyler ain't never been able to dress. Tyler Lockett, go look at them jeans. Look at them jeans. Tyler, I love you, man. Tyler got them jeans from TJ Maxx. Them things are $29.99. He popped the tag off, and he kept it going. I'm a next to fit on Tyler, but I love you, Tyler. Okay. Big fella. Byron Murphy, the second here. Nice jacket. Got a new chain I see right there.
I love that jacket.
That is a nice jacket. Yeah, that's a nice jacket. Gucci shoes. I mean, I respect the fit. Because I can't just, first of all, the blue bag is nice. The Gucci shoes are, and this coming from a lot from me, the Gucci shoes are a little bit much for me. What's next? Oh, Kobe Bryant. That's not dirt, is it?
I don't know. You tell me. There's some stains.
Oh, okay. Listen, go down to the shoes. Can I ask you youngsters something? Why y'all liking the Asics and liking the New Balances? What am I missing? Why are they coming back? What is it about the Asics? New Balance. Why do they like you youngsters are wearing that? I'm sorry. But, I mean, Kobe, look, you know what I like about Kobe? Kobe like, man, I'm going to play football. That's what that fit is. I'm going to play football. I'm chilling. You got to know?
We got to do DK. Jeans on jeans.
That denim's nice. Really nice. And I like how he rocked it with the Timbs. Dude, that's a lot of denim, ain't it?
That was a theme of the Seahawks traveling to New York.
Yeah. With the denim. Okay. What else next?
We got the prosecutor.
Look, Jordan Love is for sure the prosecutor. Even when he dresses down, he still looks like he's dressing up. He's such a professional. You know what I mean? You know who Jordan Love is, y'all? Jordan Love Julian Love, man, I'm thinking about Green Bay Packers already. Julian Love is the main character in a Tyler Perry movie.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
He is the main character in a Tyler Perry movie when she comes back home, back to the small town, and she's with her one boyfriend, but she meets him at the coffee shop, and then they kind of fall in love off to the side, and then the boyfriend wants to fight, and Julian Love's like, no, I'll be respectful to this relationship. And she's like, no, I want to be in love with you. I met the guy at the coffee shop. Y'all see how you can just go down rabbit holes?
All right, we got 3 more, and then we'll get out of here. Got to do the quarterback.
Ooh-wee. I respect the fit. Ooh-wee. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that ooh-wee.
That's pretty cool. It
look good. It looks good. Next to fit.
Oh, okay. That's not working for you.
Next to fit.
All
Hey, can I ask some of y'all something? Like, now, this might be a generation thing. Frank, your generation, Gen Z, maybe up to millennials. I know us Gen X and baby boomers. What are y'all cool with all the neck tattoos?
I had to hide mine for my job. Yeah, you see, I had to hide mine for my job. I used to have them.
here.
I will say I will never mess with someone when I see with a neck tattoo because I can't imagine how painful it is to get ink on that thin of skin. So I'm not going to mess with you. All right, last one. We got to do it. JSN, are you ready? We got to see his fit.
Ooh, hat filthy. Hold on. I'm about to. Hold on. I gotta take a picture and show JSN there. Hold on now. Let's see. JSN, you doing it like that, my boy? Ooh. Yeah, that fits nice. I respect the fit.
It's pretty cool. It's a big one. I like it.
All right. Well, that's a nice little hour string. We had a little fun today. Some of y'all took off today, but hey, it's December. Frank, you got any goals for December? How do you want to close this year out? This is it, y'all. This is the last month of the year. How are you going to close this year out strong, Frank?
Definitely have some goals with work, and then we'll have some meetings about that heading into 2025. But I just want to ride the Seahawks wave, 3-game win streak. Can they have a solid, strong December? I want January football with Seattle. That's where I'm invested in this month. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Well, I want to have a good December as well. I'm not trying to hide it. I know some of you guys want to get my opinion about the Ohio State team up north game. That's Michigan, that is. And, I was on a plane on the way back here, and I decided because the Buckeyes still have more games to play, like they're going to be in the college football playoffs. Because of that, I got to save my opinion because people watch what I say. And I don't want to say too much, but other than that, it was heartbreaking to see the Buckeyes lose. Should they have lost that game? Absolutely not. The fact that they did is just, it's crazy. So, hey, but the Seahawks, that's right, 7-5, first place in the NFC West division. Let's watch those Niners lose. And when that happens, it's time to have a good week, a good month. The Seahawks need to finish out strong this month so they can be playing meaningful football in January. You guys have a great rest of your week. Make December strong. It's the first, baby. Pay your rent on time. Or if you got to wait till the 5th, you can do that too. Hey, appreciate you rocking with us. Thanks, Frank the Tank. Appreciate you. Appreciate you rocking with us. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.